It's the age-old question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh God.
Sound familiar? As many students are returning to their studies, this is often a stressful matter. Just how likely is it that you get employed after university? Where to next with students like Lyrica?
So starting uni so far has been really good. I feel like the stuff I've learned from year one has transitioned really well into year two. So right now I am currently in a studio that specializes in studios. Basically we're learning about what goes on during a live studio, I suppose. So, you know, you have your camera operators, your directors, your vision mixers and whatnot, but so far so good. I've been really liking the content we've learned, especially with the media degree that I'm in. I feel like that job is it's not in demand as much as other jobs are. So that's one of my concerns about leaving this course after graduating, and yeah.
As of 2017, it was reported by the Graduate Outcomes Survey that 78% of university graduates nationwide were in full-time employment 4 months after graduating, with the overall employment status of undergraduates sitting at 87%. The government and defense sector showed the greatest increase in demand across the state, growing 53%. Luckily for Lyrica, job ads for science and technology also rose by 44% and 18% for careers in advertising, arts, and media. It seems there is now a rising trend of students getting themselves employed. But what are the biggest challenges that students face in getting a job? We ask a university's careers counselor, Piera Ibrahim, and see what she says.
The common challenges for students after they graduate is that they're up against not only students that have perhaps completed their programs, so their peers, but also they're up against students that have also completed a very similar qualification at other tertiary institutions. So I guess that employers are not just looking for somebody who just completes their program, but they're looking at, well, what else can they offer?
Great advice. Now let's go over to two past university students, Steve and Rakisha, who have been in the job market, and we asked them what they would have done differently.
If I had my time again, I'd have spent more time trying to do internships and just exploring what's out there a little bit more while at uni, because that gives you a much better idea of what you might want to pursue sort of as a career outside of uni.
If I had to do things differently, I would take more risks, and I would take up the opportunities that came my way at various stages within the last 8 years that I've been working.
And I mean, there's a lot of good material out there these days on this sort of thing. 80,000 Hours is an example of an organisation that tries to sort of set out some of these things to think about. So I definitely recommend that people just sort of sit down and think some of these things through.
I found it was those students that I got to see throughout the years who were quite keen. I got to see them at the job shop, asking and putting their hand up, in every opportunity. And they made sure that by the time that they were applying for graduate, positions or programs, they had their resume was, was stacked up with lots of experience, relevant experiences. They had the skills and they were well prepared.